the average age of Grumpy now is 35, so you've got these demanding customers who want great service and they're determined to get what they want to get.
Okay, no problem. So I'll be able to reset your password for you.
Customer service is probably one of the most important aspects of any business. Get it right and you foster loyalty. Get it wrong, you risk losing the customer forever. Capita specialises in this field and is trusted by many household brands to look after their customers.
Taking roll is currently at 7 to 1.
City 335 sundown.
01604.
So what does it take to be a leader of the pack in customer service? We travel back to the future with Volkswagen and join William Hill for one of their busiest days to find out. Our journey starts tomorrow when the curtain will be raised on one of the greatest shows on earth. Today is the 5th of April, the day of the 2014 Crabbies Grand National, the most watched steeplechase in the world. It's the race that the young and old love to have a bet on. Full of history, it's packed with thrills, spills and unbeatable excitement. It's the one trophy that all national hunt trainers and jockeys want to win. Welcome to Aintree Racecourse. I'm Lee Oliver and today I'll be sharing Volkswagen's journey to become world class in customer service and show you how William Hill managed one of their busiest days. Nearly half the UK adult population has a flutter on the National. By 4 p.m, over £300 million will be placed on the race. It's estimated that if you take the betting slips from the Grand National and put them end to end, they would reach all the way to Las Vegas and back. The scale of betting today is just like no other, so the bookies have to get it right so the customer needs are met and bets are taken. William Hill is a leader in the betting field and was one of the first to make the landmark decision to hand their customer base to an external organisation.
I think for a long time William Hill were very good at the gaming and the betting industry in terms of compiling odds and all the bookmaking side. I think what really appealed to us about Capita, rather than just the cost, was also the people element and the contact centre expertise that they brought to the table for us, and that partnership has been really strong.
From a William Hill perspective and a sporting calendar, today's the single busiest day of the year. We expect to take around 61,000 calls today, with 3,600 of those being new account customers. So it's a perfect example for us to showcase to our new customers just how fantastic we are, to make sure they keep on coming back, from existing customer base to make sure we continue to wow them.
All that SP is requested. Total ticket £20, Mr Preston, is that correct?
Today's a real opportunity for Capita and William Hill to showcase exactly what it can do in terms of handling an event as big as Grand National. It's also an opportunity really to send a message to our customers that says we are the biggest and the best gaming and betting company in the industry.
City 8 to 1.
It's the biggest event that I've ever seen, and I've worked in some large contact centre operations in the past. And what makes it different is that the delivery of the calls is much more extreme than you get in any regular contact centre. So to build a staffing model around that and a forecasting profile is really, really difficult. I'm pleased to say that in previous years we've got that absolutely on the money, and working closely with Capita, we're sure that we've got that right again this year.
We have to start planning in around November time. So we engage on various different work streams within Capita, from a project manager to lead the overall project, to link in with IT, to make sure we've got the IT experts involved, to look at telephony, to make sure we've got the right IT systems in place, to make sure we've got the operational leaders in place, to make sure we plan effectively, because planning is key.
The Citrix server farm has to increase from a standard of 8 servers to 16, and the number of telephony lines has to increase from 500 to an excess of 1,000 to cope with the number of calls predicted to come into the centre. Internal teams, including telephony, networks, call recording and reporting, are all on hand to ensure everything is ready. If anything was to go wrong on Grand National Day, then it would have a huge impact on the William Hill brand. Because if people can't get through, they can't place their bets, and if they can't place a bet with one bootmaker, then they'll just find another bootmaker who's more than happy to take their money. Planning for the Grand National actually starts around Christmas. This gives the leadership team plenty of time to get the operation ready, staff trained and contingencies in place. Everything from a power cut to a cut cable has to be considered. So if for some reason there was a power cut on the day, a generator would be in place big enough to supply the operation with power. The project manager will also check with the local council to see if they are carrying out any major roadworks around that time. Having a plan is fundamental, and no one understands that better than Volkswagen, who decided to take their operation back to the future in a drive to become world class.
Well, ultimately, the ambition is to become a leader in the automotive industry when it comes to customer satisfaction. That's absolutely what the entire focus of VWG is about. And when I arrived in January, it became clear to me that we need to align that objective, that huge business strategy, with the CSC. That's really where the Back to the Future idea came from, because I walked into an environment in January that had been successful. But I think over a number of years the CSC had somewhat become diluted in some of its common focus around people, around engagement, and around being clear about what we were here to do. So Back to the Future was going back to some of those key principles and designing a new strategy for 2013 that encompassed all of that.
Sometimes we need to look back to go forward. So we're launching that to you in the next few weeks. Passionate and determined to develop a world-class CSC.
I think we'll be looking at things perhaps what we've not done so well in the past, and just maybe sort of correcting them sort of going forward, so in the future we work better as a unit.
I would like to think it's an opportunity for us to learn of what's happened in the past. Did it work well? Can we do it again? But honestly, I'm not sure.
I think it'll be a chance for Volkswagen Group to tell us about sort of the strategy for next year. And with the words Back to the Future, I think we'll be looking at what's happened in the past, and obviously where we're going to go forward.
So we developed a number of key work streams, people and progression being one of them. Creating a better career framework was another. Being much closer to our customer feedback, so aligning that properly to that strategy and creating action plans on the back of it. A new coaching framework to drive performance. You know, these were all critical work streams that were to say to people, you know, these are the fundamentals, this is what's going to drive that level of satisfaction for our customers. VWG brands and the 5 brands that sit under the VWG account are world-class vehicles. You know, their product are leaders in the market without a shadow of a doubt, and at the moment their satisfaction isn't running at the level they would want to against those world-class vehicles. So, you know, when we started out on this journey a number of years ago with VWG, customer satisfaction was sat at 76%. Right now we're about 82.5% in this business, and we're striving to get to 85%. And if we get there, and I'm absolutely confident that we will, we are then really aligning that service with the luxury products that we sell, and that's absolutely the end game.
Volkswagen is a luxury brand in the automotive industry, and customers expect a service that goes hand in glove with the products that they sell. So organisations like Volkswagen and William Hill need to know who their customers are and what they want.
I think the first step is to understand what those brand values are and to make sure that the agents actually live those brand values. And I think a lovely example of that, in fact, is the RSPCA. You know, you wouldn't want somebody who's an agent with the RSPCA who doesn't love animals, you know, who doesn't really care less about the fact that you've lost your cat or you've found a donkey that needs help, or, you know, there's a stray dog or something like that. You want somebody who really is empathetic again and really understands that. So I think it's hugely important to not only recruit the right people in that scenario who will recruit agents who understand those values, but to also train them to make sure that they are living the brand values for the client.
William Hill customers are very demanding customers. They certainly know what they expect from us and from their bookmaker of choice. They expect their calls to be handled really efficiently. They expect their bets to be placed quickly and without mistakes. And above all, they expect it to be treated fairly and respectfully.
Perfect, and £2 again. Brilliant. Anything else, Mr. Sivrite?
We've got people on the front line who can really deliver that outstanding service. That's what's going to keep customers coming back to us and spending money with William Hill.
I mean, my wage slip says Capita, but I feel like I work for William Hill because I'm dealing with their customers and their products. It's not a Capita product, it's a William Hill product we're passing on to the customer, so I'd say it's 50-50.
Volkswagen have made great progress. Their stats have risen and well on the way to their 85% target. To support their journey, they have decided to enter themselves for 2 significant industry awards.
I think it's important that we put ourselves out there in terms of looking to gain more wider external recognition for the work that we've done. There's 2 significant awards that we're going to be entering into in 2013. One is the CCA award for Contact Centre Great Place to Work, and we're also going for a large service award at the end of the year through ICS. I think Volkswagen, trust in this operation. A lot of change has gone on recently, and all in terms of positive steps forward. And I think they have faith in us as a partnership to deliver on those promises around service and satisfaction. And it doesn't all stop at the CSC. This is about VWG's customers and the journey that they go on. We often pick up that journey at a point where a customer's become dissatisfied. So our job isn't just about creating satisfaction at that point, it's also about influencing further up the journey. So what insight are we providing back to the factory? I go back to a key focus of ours across the operation that I raised at the event itself, which is high support and high challenge. So our staff are completely engaged, but we also need to keep raising the bar. So we challenge them, we drive them to do better, but at the same time, we've built an infrastructure of support and recognition and coaching. And I think that is the winning formula for me. One or the other or too little of each doesn't really deliver the goods, but actually focusing on both really does work, and our staff are embracing that change.
In your role, you absolutely have the power to influence the way customers feel about our brands and our products.
Back to the Future means to me actually getting back to the basics and getting things started out to where it used to be, and actually getting the focus starting from the beginning and getting moving forward from then on.
We're going to be focused on the goal of where we're aiming towards, and we all know where we fit and how we can get there and how we can develop.
It's to sort of remind you of the customer experience, which sometimes gets lost in the multiple customers that you deal with. And it helps you just remember that every customer is individual and they all need their own attention.
We have got a mountain to climb, but already in 3 months we've demonstrated our commitment to that, and it's starting to show in our performance. I have no doubt we'll get there.
Months of dedication finally pays off for Volkswagen as they take first place in the ICS Customer Focus category.
The main factors in the climb that we've delivered in CSAT this year has been twofold. One is about operational excellence. So when we started this journey in January, it was about taking every single part of the CSC and really getting under the infrastructure in the CSC to drive operational excellence. And that journey has delivered fantastic results. In addition to that, we've been working hard on our insight, because remember, we have lots and lots of information at our fingertips in the CSC that we can step change across the organisation. So actually inform the business what things they need to focus on to deliver customer satisfaction improvements.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Volkswagen reach their target of 85% and become world class. But now, time for the big race.
This time they they go without Battle Group. He wasn't up for it. Battle Group has refused to race. Golden Way was very slow to go as well. Off with the pace is France Devotion with Ransdon Marine. Also showing speed mountainous. And one of the greys, Rose in the Moon, with further out is across the bay. And the package is handy on the wide outside with Way recruits as they go for the first. Here's Richard Hoyle.
A mistake by Wadding in the land. Wayward Prince still so under pressure. Hawks Point still going. Chance to Roy still going. Widely ridden Shearer Delane. Alvarado looking to make some ground as they take this next fence. And Chakalaka Boom at the back has been pulled up before taking that.
But at the elbow, it's Pinot Grey by 6 lengths inside the final furlong. Balthazar King, and then after the double seven as they race up towards the line, Pinot Grey, the 11-year-old, for trainer Dr. Richard Newland, and Leighton Aswell is going to take out the Crabbies Grand National. Pinot Grey wins. Balthazar King second, double seven in third. Alvarado for fourth. Shafter Roy fifth, just ahead of Rocky Creek in sixth. In seventh was Bombay 2.
Yes, it's the busiest day of the year, and we've been offered over 61,000 calls, and we answered 95.5% of those against a 95% target. And when we saw 14,800 of those in 1 hour alone, to see the positivity, to hear the buzz, to see the energy on the agent's face, it's been fantastic. So yes, the result, but ultimately the agents themselves have been the biggest asset to today.
I think the role of the customer agent is hugely important. And the reason I say that is, these days products and services are pretty weakly differentiated. You could argue, that one car company is much like another, one washing machine is much like another, one airline is much like another. And you can copy your competitors' improvements or innovations pretty easily. But the thing that you cannot copy, the thing that provides you with a competitive advantage above and beyond everything else, is the quality and the history of your relationships, and that ultimately cannot be copied. And that's about the people bit. That's about the customer service agent. It's about that moment of truth when you're talking to somebody on the phone and how well they serve you, how empathetic they are, how understanding, how knowledgeable they are about the service that they're providing. So how they enhance, if you will, that great customer experience.
That's great, thank you. Just requesting that for you now, won't keep you a moment. Right, what I've changed for the customers is we get the customers now and then getting free bets on the system, and there's a little green box that doesn't flash up, and unless you look at it to see that it's green, the customer's not going to know that he's got a free bet on his system. If it popped up on the screen to say he has a free bet in his account and we let the customer know, the customer's going to be betting more with us because he's got that free bet. So I think they'd come back to us a bit more with it being on the system.
I would hasten away from the cliche of saying that you learn something new every day, but obviously dealing with customers, you learn how to direct them to the right places, you learn how to calm them down if they've got an issue.
Biggest challenge is knowing how to take some customers. For me, it's like if they're high rate, trying to calm them down and obviously try and get it resolved as quickly as they can for them, because obviously you need to provide the best customer service skills you can.
It's all hands on deck on Grand National Day. There's no holidays. You can't phone in sick unless you have a letter from God.
I had a woman who came through and I got all her bets in, and she asked me right at the end, she said, wish me good luck. And I said it, and she couldn't have been more happy. It was ridiculous. All I said was good luck, and she asked me to wish her good luck.
Grand National's a pretty unique day. It's busy all day. There's quite a lot of exciting things going on. We get quite a lot of new or inexperienced gamblers, people who only gamble potentially once a year, so it's quite fun to kind of interact with those kind of people. Thank you very much, Mr. Rollins. Just need to go through some additional security. Can I confirm your date of birth, please?
I think the future of the contact centre in particular, and the future of customer service, is to have people who are trained to be able to adapt and morph into the customers that they're dealing with on an ongoing basis, to become more adaptable, if you will, as time goes on, to the kind of service that people want. So I think we'll see much more self-service, much more greater use of social media in a way, much more C2C help as well, customer to customer help, where customers are helping each other with customer service issues and product issues, where the company is almost on the side, if you like. I think we'll see a lot more online brand hosted communities as well, where people are getting together in communities of self-help. So I think the future could be quite interesting in terms of customer service.
Unfortunately for Grand National fans, that's it for one more year. But I hope today's journey has given you some insight into customer service and shown you what it takes to be a leader in the field. Next time you make a call as a customer, think, is this service gaining my loyalty or making me want to shop elsewhere?